Some U.S. officials are now reportedly saying it may have been contractors who breached security and handed over thousands of pages of alleged CIA documents to WikiLeaks. The documents, which were posted online, appear to show how the spy agency can hack cell phones, smart TVs, and computer systems. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange says the release shows how the CIA failed to protect cyber espionage secrets. And he's now offering even more information to tech companies on CIA hacking tools. Mark Rosenwald is an investigative correspondent for Reuters and joins me now from Washington. Good to see you.
Thank you.
All right, first, can you just explain what role contractors would have at the CIA and what type of access they'd have to information?
Well, contractors are involved all over both the defense and intelligence communities, doing all kinds of work that the agencies themselves basically contract stuff out in order to keep their costs down. And it's also easier to get rid of people quickly if they're contractors rather than if they're on the government staff. So there's just contractors everywhere doing all kinds of things throughout the intelligence community. So, and they would have access in many cases to some of the biggest secrets in the government. So the idea that the contractors had these kind of secrets and that the secrets might have leaked out through contractors is not absurd at all. In fact, you know, Edward Snowden, the big NSA leaker from the National Security Agency, he was a contractor working for a company called Booz Allen Hamilton at the time that he took stuff from an NSA base in Hawaii and fled to Hong Kong and now is in Russia.
Mark, officials said the agency has been aware of the breach since the end of last year. What have they been doing with the investigation between then and now?
Well, there's a bunch of confusion about that. I mean, we were told exactly what you just said, that they had been aware of the thing since late last year, a few days ago, but now I'm hearing there's some questions about that. Insofar as I can tell, Congress, the congressional committees or congressional leaders who usually oversee these things, they weren't told about it till like 2 or 3 days ago, till after WikiLeaks made their public disclosures. It's not clear to me when the FBI became involved, but it probably was not 2 or 3 months ago. By the same token, I heard from somebody close to WikiLeaks that indeed WikiLeaks has had this stuff for months, and that they also have the sort of coding, in other words, the technical instructions underlying this material, which are much more voluminous but very hard to understand unless you're an expert on it, which I guess is the stuff that Assange is talking about supplying to the tech companies.
All right, Senator McCain has been very outspoken. He called the leak treason. Senator McCaskill said it threatens national security. Do we know of any repercussions so far?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, certainly I'm not aware of anybody getting arrested. I don't, insofar as I can tell, they don't really know who leaked this stuff to WikiLeaks. They don't really know how it was leaked. I mean, as I say, the contractors are suspected, but, you know, there's certainly been talk on the internet. Maybe the Russians did it. I don't think there's any evidence at this point that the Russians did it, but you can never say never, I guess, these days.
Yeah, which leads me to the next question, Mark. The CIA is legally prohibited from spying in the U.S., so what would it be doing with these types of tools to begin with?
Well, again, as I understand it, the tools are not quite as devastatingly vicious or effective as they've been portrayed. As I understand it, these are not tools where they can, like, remotely, you know, without actually touching your cell phone, hack into your cell phone and destroy your encryption or get inside your encryption. As I understand it, the encryption that a lot of people have on their phones, and I even have some of this stuff on my phone, such as Signal or WhatsApp, that encryption is very hard to crack. So they actually need physically at some point to actually have your phone, and then they can put tools in it to allow them to crack it before the messages are encrypted. But that means I would have thought that somehow they have to get access to your phone, so like steal it or borrow it or whatever, and that requires other kind of, you know, sneaky spy tricks, which, insofar as I can tell, have not really been explained at this point.
And speaking of access to phones, what are the tech companies like Apple and Google, whose technology could be used, saying about this?
Well, I don't think they're very pleased. I haven't been covering the tech companies aspect of this, so I'm not entirely positive. But it's not the sort of thing that pleased them. And again, you know, the government has already indicated that it has, the United States government has already indicated that it would like to be able more easily to crack encryption on some of these cell phones. And it's not able to, and the companies are not particularly keen on cooperating. In fact, the companies have said they're going to go out of their way to try and protect their customers. So there are technical problems that have resulted from the rapid evolution of technology that the spy agencies aren't entirely capable of keeping up with, even though to some extent the spy agencies invented initially a lot of this technology.
Mark Rosenbaum in Washington. Mark, thank you.
Thank you.